I am 38 years old, I am single, and I am child-free. And as you told me that a decade ago, I would have thought that that meant that I hadn't made it, or I was super lonely, or that I had failed at life, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I spent so much of my younger years at war with myself, like not knowing who I was, operating from external validation, and terrified of aging. I am the happiest, most confident, most financially stable, most emotionally stable, healthiest, most connected and rooted to my purpose and what I'm here to do in the
most humble as well, may I add, gentlemen. But holy crap, my cope alarms are ringing, guys, because this woman is apparently butthurt. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about denial, but not denial that is right here next to my tomb, but denial. That is what these women are going through, guys, in order to cope so much. But if you thought that that joke was good and that I'm the king of humor, I gotta admit, guys, I stole it from one comment yesterday, and I'm here to brag about this joke. But regardless, guys, like and subscribe, even though I steal jokes. And now let's continue with this woman.
In this world, the most embodied and connected to my own erotic life force that I've ever been. I have the best community that I've ever had. I use my free time and my financial freedom to travel and take workshops and do the things that light me up in this world. I think we are sold a very specific story and a very specific timeline around what happiness is. And I just want you to know that there are so many other ways to live a happy, successful, fulfilling life.
Yeah, and yours is not one of them. You mentioned something about stories. Guys, I cannot think of a sadder, more pathetic story than living your whole life alone, only caring about yourself, never investing into anyone. Oh, but I invest into my friends. You invest into them only to mimic what a husband should do, alright? You invest in your friends to only so you can have a substitute to what you should have, which is a life partner. It's in the same way that they buy cats and dogs. They don't actually love the cat or dog. They buy them because they want to fill the void with a cat. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna title this video Single and Childless at 38. I think yesterday's title was just the same. Someone may think that I'm clickbaiting, but I'm not. It's just the internet is filled to the brim with women coping extremely hard because they've waited for too long. They've missed their chances, they've dismissed 200 men, and now they're trying to cope. But anyway, guys, talking about cope, let's move to this other lesbian and let's see what she has to say.
I'm probably going to get a little hate for this. I was watching a TikTok video last night and it made me think about the value we assign women.
I have a question for single men in their 30s who have their lives together and just haven't found the one yet.
Basically, TikToker Marie Piper was asking single men in their 30s where they hang out and where a single woman in her 30s could meet them. The top comment was, in your 20s, and there were thousands of comments.
Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Can I get a round of applause? Thank you. Yeah, that's right. In your 20s, you 304s. But editor, can you pull this down a bit? We have to see the lesbian haircut. There you go.
Comments from men saying men in their 30s don't date women their own age because of decreasing fertility, etc., etc. It is a well-worn trope that women lose value as they age. We see it in the media, on TV, in advertising, in politics. Older women don't have the same representation as younger women or even older men. And it makes me wonder how scared we must be of women if we're so hell-bent on taking away their power. Even if you're the kind of
There we start with the mumbo-jumbo BS words. Oh, you're scared of us. We're not scared. It's just you're a moron who cannot see nature for what it is. You know, the same happens, guys, in the working sphere, where young people are prioritized over elderly people because young people have 50 years of work ahead of them. They are more energetic. They also expect lower, paychecks because they haven't received one yet. They are easier to control. They obey more easily, Elderly people, they already have expectations. They know the market. They know what paycheck they should get. They want a higher one. They also don't have as many years left to work. They are also just less energetic, less strong, That's just nature. You don't see many elderly people going around saying, oh, I know what this is, you're just afraid to hire me. No, it's just they're not retarded and they understand how nature works. But these women don't, guys. These women don't understand how nature works. The amounts of cope are through the stratosphere, my hell. So let's continue with more stupidity.
Person who reduces someone's worth to their youth or their fertility. Fertility research shows that women in their mid to late 30s are well able to conceive, even though it might be a little harder. Fertility doesn't really drop off until about the age of 40, and it's the exact same for men. At 40...
No, that's just simply not true. I don't remember the exact age, but I think fertility starts to decline at around 30. And it progressively declines more and more. So notice how she doesn't say, oh, this study shows that women actually have the same odds of becoming pregnant up until their 40s. No, she says, oh, this study shows that women can still have kids at 30, even though, admittedly, she says, it's a bit more difficult. Yeah, you don't say, eh? You don't say. I didn't know that. What a moron, guys. What a terrible moron. She tries to look at the science, and even the science is telling her straight to her face that, yeah, you should not be having kids waiting until 40. The science is showing like a huge middle finger to her face.
The quality of the sperm decreases, and that could lead to a higher risk of miscarriage. A lot has changed for women in the last few generations. We can have our own bank accounts, we can vote. We don't necessarily need men to provide for us in the way that we used to, but things have more or less stayed the same for men. They were already pretty good anyway.
Massive mistake, by the way. This whole thing with the banks, liberty, women having rights and all that thing, massive mistake, guys. Can we go back to the good old days?
So now there are so many different ways to be a successful woman, working, child-free, married, whatever. But the template for being a successful man has more or less stayed the same. Working, family, Jack the lad. For heteronormative men, success is often hinged on having a woman or being desired by lots of women. When men try to scare women into thinking their value is only in the first quarter of their lives, it's men who miss out. Research shows that single women live longer, happier lives than their married counterparts, but it's not the same for men. Single men often die younger, have worse health outcomes, and aren't as connected with their communities. Let's get older women on the pedestal they deserve to be on. They've been putting up with this shit for long enough.
No, wait a minute. Nothing against older women. In fact, guys, I think that older women, objectively, have way more to offer than younger women, because younger women often gravitate around their attractiveness. Older women have way much more to show for. Alright, just not in dating. Yeah, just not in dating. Like, you should not be dating when you are 40. At 40, you should be, I don't know, shipping your kid off to university or something. You know, and starting to knit freaking socks for your grandsons. That's what you should be doing. This whole idea of, yeah, let's just screw around and then we'll go around to having kids when we are 35. Then we'll start looking for Prince Charming. Massive amounts of cope, guys. And also, this Nirvana t-shirt, I can guarantee you this woman cannot name you 2 Nirvana songs. Math poser also, on top of being extremely stupid. But anyway, let's move on, guys, to the last bit of whining that we have for today. What t-shirt is this? This is another metal t-shirt. But I can't read which one. Regardless, another poser. Let's check her out.
The lack of initiative in dating is just, I mean, it's nothing new. It's everything. What I can't understand is how so many women talk about all they want is just a man to take a little bit of initiative. That's literally... And yet, like, I've been talking to this guy on Hinge, and it's been about 2 weeks, and I was out of town, but we've been talking back and forth. Now I'm back in town. Hey, let's go out. So he was telling me about this thing, and I just finally replied, I would love to hear more about that over drinks. Let me know if you're interested. Then he's like, oh, well, how about we exchange numbers or Instagram? And I was like, here's my Instagram, here's my number. He responds with his Instagram and his number. I can't do all the work. If I'm gonna do all the work, I'm just gonna date myself. Like, I can't
Oh, that's all the work, adding him on Instagram. Wow, so much work, guys. Holy crap. He's just not that interested in you because you're a sub 5 woman, alright? And you know she's full of crap because she says, oh man, we women just require the smallest bit of attention, the smallest bit of initiative. I'm a victim, I'm a victim. You effing moron, alright? You have 300 guys on your DMs showing initiative. What about those? Why do they never get mentioned? I'm so tired of these women pretending. You retard are dismissing the hundreds of options. We all know you have hundreds of options. Stop lying to our freaking faces. Even you, who looks like a witch from like a 14th century novel, even you have hundreds of options. Stop pretending. Yet you never talk about those, right? You never talk about the 5 guys hitting you on Facebook and the 20 guys hitting you on Instagram and the 30 guys hitting you on Snapchat on your booty pictures, alright? You never talk about those. They show initiative because they are freaking invisible, guys. They are magicians. They are invisible in these women's eyes. They don't exist because they are not Chad, right? And then they go with their massive balls and audacity and whine on TikTok that, oh, men don't show initiative. No, you bastard. 90% of men show enough initiative and they're hitting you up every single day, yet you don't care about them. My hell, I'm tired of pretending, guys. I'm tired of these stinky ass liars. But now, let's move on to articles, guys. There are 2 and they have similar fashion. So let's get started with this one. Got rejected in a bar last night, and honestly, I'm proud of myself. Last night I went out with a couple of friends to a small cocktail bar in the city. It was one of those cozy places with dim lighting, jazzy background music, and a mix of people chatting over drinks. What is this fucking dog barking about? Ampu, go deal with that, please. At one point, I noticed a girl at the bar who caught my eye, not just because she was attractive, but because she seemed genuinely in a good mood, laughing with her friend. A month ago, I would have just sat there overthinking every possible outcome, convincing myself that now isn't the right time, and eventually letting the moment pass. But lately, I've been working on myself a lot. I've been going to the gym more consistently, taking cold showers in the mornings. Jeez, do I hate cold showers, guys. And even reading this really insightful ebook about male confidence and approaching women. It wasn't one of those cheesy pickup things, more like guidance on how to actually feel comfortable in your own skin, regardless of the outcome. So I took a deep breath, walked up to her, and struck up a conversation. She was polite, but made it clear she wasn't interested. Well, I'll be damned. Follow me shocked, right, guys? And you know what? It didn't sting like it used to. I didn't spiral into self-doubt or replay the rejection in my head 100 times. I just smiled, wished her a good night, and went back to my friends feeling kind of proud. Because for me, the win wasn't getting her number. It was actually approaching and proving to myself that I can handle whatever happens. That's a big leap from where I was just a few weeks ago. If you've been hesitating to put yourself out there, I can't tell you how much of a difference it makes to work on your confidence first. Rejection becomes just another part of the process, not the end of the world. Well, congratulations on your first and definitely not last rejection. You keep at it and you'll get rejected 10,000 more times, and then you tell me how you feel about it, alright? Like this, look, can we stop pretending that rejection is not a bad thing? Oh, you miss every shot, you don't fire. Oh, rejection, which look, rejection is natural, but can we stop pretending that getting rejected 99 times out of 100 doesn't sting? Alright, oh, now I'm confident. Yeah, you keep at it, and after you get dismissed by 10,000 women, you tell me how your confidence is doing. And also, when you get dismissed, say this guy is a 6. When you get dismissed by an overweight, balding, armpit hair Sue with purple hair, you tell me when she rejects you how your confidence is. Alright? But anyway, you know what, guys? I'm happy for him. If you want to go and try, I've nothing against hitting up women. Go do it. Just don't come crying back when you get dismissed 10,000 times, because that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, let's go to our second one, guys. I did my first ever approach yesterday. I'm 21 male. While walking down the street yesterday, I noticed a street musician girl playing violin really well. Probably not better than Ampu, but still really well. I sat down opposite to her and listened to the entire repertoire. It was really enjoyable. I'm somewhat of a musician myself. I can really appreciate when someone knows their instrument well. I know my instrument well. Yes, that's a winner joke, guys. Had to get one in. That's what she said. No, I'm kidding. Okay, focus. Although I'm nowhere near her level, I thought to myself that I have to go and talk with her just for social training. So we have another trainer, guys, who does it for the sport. When she started packing up, I walked to her and I told her that she did an amazing job, asked for her name and where she was from. We talked for a minute or two. It's weird how smooth the conversation went, considering that it was my first time doing such a thing. I noticed some cues that she might be interested. She was fiddling her hair and maintained eye contact with me while smiling. So I thought, hey, what the hell, I'm gonna ask her out. And so I asked her if she'd like to grab a coffee with me sometime. But unfortunately, she told me that she has a boyfriend. Wow, color me shocked. Holy crap, guys, I'm so just so shocked. Oh, Hiran, you cherry-picked 2 stories where men get dumped. No, I just look at my friends and look at my acquaintances and look at the world, and I can see that every man is getting dismissed left, right, and center. It's not these 2 stories, but anyway. I thanked her for the music and wished her good luck with everything. Maybe it didn't work out, but I'm still kind of proud of myself for not messing it up completely and not getting stressed during that interaction. Maybe it'll work the next time around. Yippee-yay, guys, maybe it will work the next time. Let's give it another go, yoo-hoo! Let's go! So positive, guys. Yeah, you just wait till you get dismissed like 400 times, guys. It will happen. But look, I don't want to be too pessimistic. I don't want to stop anyone from trying. If you want to try. Maybe you'll get lucky. But most likely you won't, right? It's just, I'd have to lie to tell you that you'll probably get lucky, because you won't. I've been hitting up on women just for the sport, because I don't want no relationship or one night stand, but you know, I thought, let's see, let's push the limits, let's see where I can go. Guys, 9 out of 10 women that I ask out have a boyfriend. Like, at least 8, if not 9 out of 10 have a boyfriend. Alright, and you'll say, oh, Hidan, this is just your experience. I never talk about my experience because it's my experience. I talk about my experience because it's most of guys' experiences, and here's why. Because women have hundreds of options, right? We all know that. And now here's the thing. If you go and hit up a woman that is attractive, surprise, surprise, guys, if you find her attractive, that means that 47 other men also found her attractive, you know? And all 47 of them shot their shot. You know, so what are the odds of having an attractive woman who is single, guys? What are the odds? It's like the only situation in which a attractive woman is single is if she herself puts boundaries and dismisses guys until she waits for the right one, for the one who she'll have a real deep connection with. But most women, they just like the attention, they feel bored, they don't want to be alone, and it's impossible to catch them without a boyfriend. It's impossible. It's just there's no way, Jose. They spend like 2 days every 7 years single before they monkey branch onto the next dude. Like, when was the last time you saw a hot woman who is single? And I don't mean not in a relationship but still banging 47 guys. No, I mean absolutely single. You know, in the sense that she's waiting. I haven't seen one, to be honest with you. Now, here's another thing. If you're in your 30s, you're already out of luck, because women your age who are single are a red flag by default. You know? So there's that. But even the 20-year-olds, guys, it's like, no, it's too accessible for them. You know, it's just too accessible for them. I'll give you a final example, guys, before closing the video. Finding a woman who is single in today's day and age is the equivalent of locking 10 kids in a room with a cake and showing up 2 hours later expecting for the cake to be full. All right? those are your odds. Maybe one of those 10 kids will say, you know what, this cake is not mine, I don't know where this cake comes from, I won't eat it. Or maybe he's not that hungry, maybe. Or maybe he doesn't like the taste of that particular cake. Like, there's maybe some very odd instances in which you can lock 10 kids up and for them not to eat the cake. But most of the time, you'll just open the door and you'll find all the kids with like chocolate on their mouth and then no cake, right? And it's the same with women. It's not because of my experience. Oh, you're biased. No, I'm not. It's just objective facts. When you think about the reasoning behind it, the truth is, most women, just like kids, they don't have the self-restraint or principles to guide them in their life where they would choose solitude over being with someone, right? They don't have that. They like the attention, they want to have company, they want someone to buy them gifts, they want the Facebook pictures and all that. You're not gonna catch them single, bro. You're not. But anyway, guys, we'll end the video right here. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. And Ampu sends his regards. I'll see you next time.